Welcome back to our weekly segments on the writing of the book. In fact, I should probably give you the title. At least it's a tentative title, the working title. The working title for this book is The Cinco de Mayo in California, The Civil War Origins of an American Tradition. I know a lot of people think, Civil War? What does the Cinco de Mayo have to do with the Civil War? Well, hang on, we'll get to that. And an American tradition? Well, yes, because it's not a Mexican tradition. It's not celebrated in Mexico. In fact, I remember the first time I was in Mexico on a Cinco de Mayo. I was in Guadalajara visiting some cousins. And so I thought, wow, I can hardly wait to get downtown. They're probably going to have parades and everything else. I ran downtown right by the Catedral. Nothing. Nothing. Traffic like usual. Nothing. I was disappointed. What happened? Why don't they celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Now I understand. It is, in fact, something that has its origins in the Civil War, and it's a U.S.-born Latino tradition. My book covers this history in 6 chapters. So let me just briefly go over the 6 chapters so we know where we're going. In subsequent videos, I'm going to talk about each chapter and give you an update as to how I'm doing on completing each chapter. First chapter, obviously, is the introduction. I start at February 1st, 1848. All the Latinos here in California go to bed. They're Mexican citizens. They wake up the next morning, February 2nd, and under the terms of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, they wake up, they're American citizens. They still speak Spanish, they still have tortillas, frijoles, but they're now American citizens. And then, of course, a couple of weeks later, Sam Brannan stands on a street corner in San Francisco, waves that little glass bottle and says, "Gold, gold, we discovered gold," and the gold rush is on. And what happened is that, in fact, he had a huge immigration from Mexico, Central America, and South America of Latino miners, gambusinos they're called, prospectors. Huge, huge immigration, huge population explosion from all around Latin America. They all come up here to California, primarily up to San Francisco, and then they go out to the gold country. And of course, they meet the Californios. Everybody speaks Spanish. You had an explosion of urban areas, particularly San Francisco, Los Angeles, big businesses, etc. You had merchants, traders, guys that own ships, you name it. You had prospectors going all up and down the Sierras and the gold country. Everybody was meeting each other. They got married. They had kids. And the kids start to grow up bilingual and bicultural. This is the first cohort of second-generation kids. They're U.S. citizens by birth. Then, just as these kids are growing up, and just as Latinos are kind of figuring out one another, I mean, does a Mexicano have anything in common with a Californio, in common with an Argentino, in common with a Salvadoreño, in common with a Chileno? Well, they discovered yes, a lot. But I cover all of that in the first chapter. Then, suddenly, the guns boom on Fort Sumter, and the American Civil War is on. That's the end of chapter 1.